So what are the softwares that you're going to actually need in order to do the seller carryback method? There's really only 3 core pieces of software, and one's really just a tool, not really software. So the first thing is you're going to need PropStream. PropStream's a $99 a month tool, and you really don't necessarily need this because you could query it through us. You could submit up the deal to us, and we can find out the information for you. But PropStream is going to allow you to figure out who has a mortgage, how much is on the mortgage, what's the interest rate, who's the owner, all the details about the property that you're considering buying. That just gives you better visualization. Connected Investors is another tool that's very similar to that you could use. It's a little bit more than $99 a month, but we have access to both those tools. So if you don't want to get them, you just want to query deals to us, you can send it to us through Slack or whatever environment that makes the most sense, and we can actually check those deals for you. On top of that, AirDNA is going to show us what the comp analysis are. We have 2 pricing guys, Chris and Ian, that work with us over at our management company, and they're able to do a little bit more comprehensive comp analysis than just plugging it into AirDNA. AirDNA is great, but it doesn't really have a full picture on highs, lows, and the things that make a property good or not. So for example, you could plug a property into AirDNA into the rentalizer tool, and the problem with that is it doesn't necessarily account for a pool or a hot tub or some of the other amenities, whereas if we give it to Chris and Ian, they could do a little bit better breakdown and say this is what the property is actually going to do because it's missing this amenity or it has this amenity or whatever the situation is. Very important that we get that squared away because we want you to have the right data for income so you're not buying the wrong property. So PropStream, Connected Investors, AirDNA, you're going to need those. On top of that, Zillow is a great spot to start. You don't necessarily have to get a Zillow account. You can just use the free software. Remember, when you're going to Zillow, you're going to want to put in your price range, probably 500 to 1.5 million inside Zillow. And then in another video, we'll show you exactly how to query everything out. But under the more section, you're going to put in seller finance as the keyword and owner finance as the keyword to find the right transaction. So with those tools, you should be able to run everything. AirDNA is incredibly expensive. It's like $7,000 to $20,000 a year, depending on what license you have. So it'd make a lot more sense if you just submitted the form that we have for you guys. It'll shoot it over to us. We'll run it through the pricing guides and get you a good understanding of what the actual income is going to be on that property. So highly recommend that. Save you a ton of time, and that way you don't have to buy all this software.